Siddiq, right? So meaning, what does that mean? They gave everything. Okay? And then what was the second category? Oh, yeah, they keep some, right? Yeah, so they keep some. Okay? They keep some for later, and then whenever someone that's in need comes, they spend it on them. And then what was the last level? Bukhara, very good, right? So this is the Haddul Bukhara, right? So then they're the stingy people. So how did he define the stingy people? They only give the zakat, the very bare minimum. Okay? So those were the 3 levels. Now today, he's going to tell us, inshallah, 5 things that whenever we're spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we should safeguard 5 things. In salah, he told us we have to safeguard 3 things, right? So in zakah, we have to safeguard 5 things. Okay? So the first one is al-awwal al-israr. Okay? Israr means to give it secretly. Okay? It comes in hadith, أَنَّ صَدَقَةَ السِّرِّ تُطْفِئُ غَضَبَ الرَّبِّ. That when a person gives sadaqah secretly, right, then that extinguishes the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Then he explains, he said, look, what's one of the purposes of zakah? It's a spiritual remedy, right? It's a cure. So it cures the bukhl, it cures the stinginess. So he says that every spiritual malady that's in this world, in the akhirah, it takes on its own form, right? So the grave is what we call alamul barzakh, right? So things over here that don't have a form, they assume a form in that realm. Okay? So each spiritual malady has a form that it comes in that realm. Just like good deeds have a form in that realm too. So we know that in the Quran and Surah Mulk, and they come and they protect the person. So Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah, he says that the form of riya, what does riya mean? Showing off, right? So riya, the form of that in the qabr is a hayya. It's a serpent, okay, like a big snake, right? And the form of bukhl is a scorpion, right? An aqrab. Okay? So Imam al-Ghazali over here, he goes into the spiritual psychology. It's like, look, if you treat your bukhl by spending, but at the same time you don't hide your spending and you make yourself vulnerable to showing off, all you've done is you've replaced the scorpion with what? The serpent, right? In fact, he says not even replacing, you're taking the scorpion and you're feeding it to the snake, right? So you're killing one spiritual malady, but at the same time you're feeding another one, right? Okay? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to be very secretive. Give in such a way that no one knows what you're giving. Okay? Number 2, أن تحذر من المن. Right? That, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن. Don't invalidate your sadaqah and your spending through man. So what is man? أن ترى نفسك محسنا إلى الفقير متفضلا عليه. That when you give to someone, you think that you're doing them a favor. Okay? So now it's like, okay, well, I don't do that. So then Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah, that's the beautiful thing, is he gives you a litmus test. Right? You can check. There's you can actually check, do I have man or not? Okay? It says, أن تتوقع منه شكرا. So you expect from him to thank you. Right? So for example, you give someone something, right? And then they don't say anything. Ajib nalaik insan. Right? Like I gave him something, he didn't even say shukriya. He didn't even say, jazakallah. Oh, so that means you expected him to say that. If you expected him to say that, that's man. Okay? Then he gives another test. It's like, okay, here's another test. What's that test? He said, if he does something wrong to you, you're more hurt by the fact that he did it. You understand? Okay? Meaning, if I don't do anything good to someone, and then they curse at me, okay, I never did anything good to you anyway. Right? It's like, you? I mean, didn't I just help you out yesterday? Now you're turning out? Oh, hold on. You failed the test. Okay? And now we can apply this at a very broad level. Right? A person comes to the masjid and expects special privileges. Why? I'm one of the big donors. I can keep the water faucet running while I'm making wudu. It's okay. I gave my donation this Jum'ah. You don't know? Okay. Oh, mashallah. By your haqq for the water in the masjid is no different than the person that didn't give a single cent in sadaqah to the masjid. The masjid is lillah. It's Allah's. It's waqf to Allah. You have no right. Doesn't matter if you're not giving a single cent of sadaqah or you're spending half of your savings in the masjid. It doesn't make any difference. You're not doing anyone a favor. Right? So, أن تحذر من المن. Okay? Now, we'll do the third one and we'll do fourth and fifth perhaps some other time inshallah. أن تخرجه من أطيب أموالك وأجودها. Okay? That you take out whatever you're spending from the best of what you have. Okay? Here's an example over here, and he gives it in other places too, Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah. He says that, look, if you have guests that come over to your house, and you have fresh made, what do we feel like eating today? And don't say biryani, we have that all the time. Yeah. Oh, mashallah, halim, mashallah. Yeah, fresh made halim. Right? So now, like, okay, you can serve the halim. They're like, oh, I have some frozen pizza in the freezer, let me take that out. Does that make sense? When a guest comes, what are you going to give them? You're going to give them the frozen pizza? Some people like frozen pizza. No, you're going to give them what's better, right? You give them preference. The one that you love, you give them what's best, right? So now what happens? The masjid will have a toy drive for Eid, for the kids that are needy that don't have toys. We go and we buy toys for our kids, and he said, Beta, what do you want? Let's take and show me which one do you want. Okay? When it comes to the toy drive, which toy are you not using anymore? Which one's half broken? Which one needs the batteries replaced? And it's taking up space in our storage. Let's go dump it in the toy drive here. And that's unfortunately how our mentality has become. What we should do is we should make that a point of training and discipline for our children. Take them to the store and say, I want you to buy the toy that you think that is best. And then with your own hands, come and put it in the toy drive. And we should do the same with ourselves. Right? And, give the best of what you have. Something that actually you hold dear to your heart, come and give that in the path of Allah. Show your love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to act upon what was said and heard. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. So tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? When is Molana Ghazi Purvis? Sunday. Okay, so I do have you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow you guys have the homework of these three inshallah. Okay?